Alright guys, welcome to Fantasy Nuts. My name's Luke Evans. This is my Week 9 running back rankings. If you like the content, hit a thumbs up, subscribe, comment below. Appreciate you watching. Let's talk. Number 1, I got Jonathan Taylor against New York Jets. Listen, the Jets are not that great against the run, and Jonathan Taylor's a stud, getting between the tackles as good as anybody. He might be one of the most talented running backs in the league. Very Christian McCaffrey-like with his receiving also. Najee Harris against Chicago, also another pretty decent matchup. Chicago's about 13th against the run. Najee gets that passing game, gets the running game. His opportunity is insane. It's worth chasing. Alvin Kamara has a good week against Atlanta's bad defense. They are awful, so Alvin Kamara's top 3. All right, I got Austin Ekeler at number 4 against Philly. Listen, they're a pretty good defense. They do better against the pass than they do against the run, and they do give up more against pass-catching running backs, which is what Austin Ekeler is. So I like him in the top 4. All right, I got Aaron Jones at number 7 against that crappy Kansas City defense. Aaron Rodgers being out, it's going to make it the Aaron Jones day. He's going to have a great day against the Kansas City D. Dalvin Cook against Baltimore. Baltimore's an okay D, but Dalvin Cook gets it done. He's going to come back and bounce back from the crappy performance he had last week. Darrell Henderson against Tennessee's crappy defense. They suck too. Darrell Henderson should have a pretty good day. So should that whole offense. Joe Mixon against Cleveland. I like Joe Mixon being their main back. Obviously, Joe Mixon against Cleveland. He's super talented. Cleveland is not showing to be as good as they were expected to be earlier this year. Eli Mitchell against Arizona. Listen, you just want a piece of that San Francisco run offense. Anybody that's running the ball for San Francisco, you want to play. Josh Jacobs has been looking better lately, so I like him in the top 12. Michael Carter at 13 against Indy. Listen, this isn't the best matchup because Indy's decent against the run, and they're a decent D. But Michael Carter is shown to be the main back there. He's getting pass production. Mike White looks a lot better than Zach Wilson did, throwing for 400 yards last week. This is an offense you want to pay attention to. I want to see what happens with Michael Carter, but I'm playing him this week. I think he's a starter from here on out for right now. Damian Harris looked also very good last week against Carolina. He should have a decent week. You know, Bill Belichick loves his runs. Boston Scott, he, again, last week gave a big FU to everybody that picked up Kenneth Gainwell and showed that he's the guy. He's the number 2 there. They shouldn't even have questioned it. Boston Scott against Chargers, they are not very good against the run. I like Boston Scott this week. Myles Gaskin against Houston, I got at 16, right behind Boston Scott. I got to pick between Boston Scott and Myles Gaskin this week. This is not an easy pick for me. They both have good matchups, and the way Gaskins has been going is good game, bad game, good game, bad game, good game, bad game. Go look at his stats. Last week was his bad game. This week should be his good game. I like Gaskins this week. I might play him over Scott. We'll see what happens. Nick Chubb I got at 17 against Cincy. It's at Cincy. Nick Chubb is going to, I think, have a bounce back week. He's been, he came off injury last week. He didn't look that healthy. I think he comes back and has a good week this week. Devontae Booker has been a great catching back for the Giants. They're going against Vegas, Las Vegas Raiders, who just lost Henry Ruggs, unfortunately, in that awful car accident. We pray and wish everybody the best there in that whole situation. Moving on, though, Devin Booker, what a good pick and what a good play this week. Damian Williams against Green Bay, another great play. I think he's going to be a guy they dump down to a lot this week again, just because of the gameplay, the way the defense plays Kansas City. It seems to be the way that the NFL is starting to play Kansas City. Khalil Herbert, I got it at 20 against Pittsburgh. I like Khalil Herbert as long as David Montgomery doesn't come back this week and start eating into his touches. If he does, then I'm going to drop him down way further at the end of the week here. So keep an eye on that David Montgomery status. Zach Moss, I got at 21 against Jacksonville Jaguars. This Zach Moss has been decent, 12, 15 fantasy points every week. He's somebody worth plugging in there in the flex spot, I believe. Chuba Hubbard against New England. He got in the end zone last week. Will he get in there this week? I think that's kind of what you're hoping for a good fantasy week this week. Otherwise, you might end up with 8 to 10 fantasy points. All right, and at 23, I got Jeremy McNichols against Los Angeles Rams. This is the backup running back for Derrick Henry. They also bring in Adrian Peterson. I just like McNichols more this week. I like Adrian Peterson long term, but this week I think they'll be using McNichols more than they will Peterson as Peterson gets acclimated to the offense. 24, Chase Edmonds against San Francisco. He's obviously being used right alongside James Conner there. They get a pretty good split usage there. He gets more of the passing game. Conner gets more of the rushing game, more of the end zone targets. But Chase Edmonds still finds a way to get decent fantasy production week after week. Ty Johnson looked pretty decent last week. I think he might be involved with Mike White being behind center, and they might start using those running backs a lot more, Michael Carter and Ty Johnson. So keep an eye out for that. You might see him getting a few receptions in this game. Melvin Gordon against Dallas. Melvin Gordon has looked really good. Javonte Williams and him as a duo just week after week putting up 12 to 15 fantasy points. That's good fantasy production for your flex spot. So you're going to love to play him there. Carlos Hyde's going to be the back there right now. It looks like James Robinson is out, so you know he might be a good plug and play in your flex. Javonte Williams, we just said, same line as Melvin Gordon, just a good flex play. Kenyon Drake should get some good usage with this new coaching staff. He's definitely getting more looks, and they got the Giants. And then A.J. Dillon. Hey, listen, with Rodgers out, you don't know what the game flow is going to be like. I think A.J. Dillon's a good spot start in your flex this week if you're having troubles finding a good running back. Well, that wraps up my Week 9 running back rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below. You can also hit me up at my Twitter at fantasy_nuts. If you have any questions, start sits, anything like that, be happy to answer them or happy to give you some suggestions and why. Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. My name's Luke Evans, and stay fantasy nuts.